Well, we are paging Dr. Paul this morning because you may have noticed people calling in sick over the last few weeks. So we want to check in with Dr. Paul to find out what infections are circulating at the current moment. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
It seems like everybody's been sick over the last few weeks. So what's going on? What are we seeing right now?
Well, we're seeing not the flu. That's the
Okay.
thing. We're not seeing the flu. We're not seeing COVID. We're not seeing RSV yet. I want to underscore yet. But what we're seeing are what we call entero and rhinoviruses.
Okay.
In other words, viruses that cause a common cold, bit of gastro. And so people, I know a lot of people have been sick and they think it's the flu, they think it's COVID. It likely is not. If you look at the percentage of positivity of these, they're like 15, 16% positive, whereas the flu and all those are less than 1 or 2%. So the bottom line is that, if it's a cold, it will go away on its own. And people seem to think that, oh, I got the flu.
Right.
And one of the reasons I'm worried about that is, we talk about it all morning about worried about a flu season, serious flu season.
Right.
So don't think that just because you got sick, you're good to go with the flu.
That you got the immunity from the flu. Okay.
Exactly. So you need to be able to think about that and actually know the difference, because a lot of people don't know the difference between what the flu is. So let's say the common cold, which a lot of people have now, may have, a runny nose, a bit of fever, maybe a bit of cough, but it goes away on its own and really no complications at all. But if it's the flu, which we're worried about coming in the next couple of weeks, it starts like a cold, but has high fever, body aches, really not feeling well, can last a week or two, and in individuals that are young babies, older individuals can end you up in the hospital.
Okay.
And that's why I want people to know not to think about that. The other thing too is, I, and many others, have already gotten our flu shot.
Right.
So I know people who got their flu shot but still got sick.
Right.
Well, it's not the flu shot that did it, and it's not that the flu shot didn't work. It's because other viruses are circulating that the flu shot won't protect against.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the flu shot and the importance of getting that.
Yeah. I think that we understand, seeing what's circulating. It's the H3N2 strain that is a bit more severe than the H1N1 strain that usually circulates as well. And so we saw some severe disease in Australia, and sometimes it tells us, not 100%, but we can kind of project what's going on. Bottom line is that the best way to protect yourself and your family, it's important, and your family, particularly if you have elderly or children, is get vaccinated, get the flu shot, because the flu shot will give you protection against severe disease. You may, for example, I know people are talking about potential mismatch of the vaccine.
Yes.
So as I was telling you before, it's better to be 60 or 70% protected rather than 0% protected. So I urge people to get vaccinated, particularly young children and the elderly. And even in between, if you have young children in your family, or if you have elderly in your family, they'll get vaccinated. The vaccines don't work as well in the elderly, so it's better that you are protected so you won't spread it to the elderly.
Because you were saying, even if there is a little bit of a mismatch, it still does give you protection.
Oh, yes, it does. And so it may be the difference between being admitted to hospital and not being admitted to hospital. It may not prevent you getting from the infection. Even if it's a good match, sometimes you may still get what we call a breakthrough infection. The bottom line is that the vaccine will actually not try to prevent disease, but more importantly, prevent severe disease and complications. And as we know, in the elderly, it can cause hospitalizations, death, and really loss of independence, even heart attacks and those type of things. So we want to prevent those things. So the more you're vaccinated, the higher your chances of preventing severe complications. And that is really for all age groups.
Okay. And we're likely to see kind of over the coming weeks, the flu start to circulate and pick up. We
usually see it around between sort of end of December, January, coincident with the holidays.
Yeah, people get together.
And the problem is that we also see RSV at the same time, and maybe COVID. And so there are other shots as well. And let's not forget, it's not only the flu shot you can get, the elderly can get the RSV protection, as well as babies, as we've talked about in previous shows. And of course, there is a COVID vaccine that's as well. So we have like almost a triple threat coming. But certainly the good news is that unlike with the common cold, where we don't have vaccines, we do have vaccines to protect ourselves against the flu, RSV, and COVID as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and helping us break down the cold and flu season and, of course, what is circulating around right now.